So episode 5 of The Acolyte had some of the best action that we have seen in Star Wars since the prequels. If you haven't, go check out my reaction. I'll link it in the chat and description below. We also got some really groundbreaking moments. You know, the loss of Yord and Jeki, which, you know, sent shockwaves through the fandom, but I did kind of call it. I knew that they were probably going to die during this fight. Still, it didn't make it any easier to witness. But we also got the reveal of the masked, mysterious dark side character. Now, I originally thought that Khmer was a bit of a red herring for that character, and I still think to an extent there is a little bit of a red herring at play here, but we know without a doubt that he is the person behind the mask. He's described himself as a Sith, and I kind of want to just talk a little bit about a theory that I have that links him to Soul, because there was definitely some intimation in that episode that Soul felt familiar around him, and that Khmer definitely knows who Soul is. So to get into the theory here, I think firstly, the red herring itself is that, yes, Khmer is a Sith, but I think he is the Sith apprentice. I think he has a master. I think that master was on Brendok. I think that she is Mother Coral. I think that at the time of the fire, she was the one that caused the deaths of the Coven. If you look very closely as well at some of the stills in the fight, the arm that doesn't have the gauntlet on it for Khmer has some burns, it has some scars. I think that he was there present during the time of the fire. Maybe again, even as far back as then, he was apprenticing under Mother Coral. She felt like she had something more to hide than the rest of the Coven, because she was being far more defensive and aggressive towards the Jedi than anyone else. And I think that maybe she was the one who has taken on Khmer as an apprentice at that time. Maybe he was wounded in the fire. You also have to take into account that Khmer knows how to source Bunta. And Bunta's only, as far as we know, the only source of Bunta is Brendok. We saw the Bunta tree in the 3rd episode, both at the beginning and the end. And so for him to have sourced that, he must surely know where it is. And that means he must have been there. Now, my theory behind Mother Coral is that she was trying to do what a lot of the Sith have tried to do, and that is create life through the Force. She has essentially, you know, achieved that goal with the twins. I think she was wanting to do that to be able to train them up as apprentices. And in her frustration, obviously, things didn't quite go the way that she wanted. She's taken Khmer on instead. Now, I don't know if he was a part of the Coven that we just didn't see, or if he was a local, you know, a native to the planet, even though they said it was abandoned. There's definitely something that we haven't seen there. But that can only really be, you know, the explanation that we look at right now, unless there's some hidden history with Soul that we haven't gotten into. But I would think that'd be strange to get into at this point in the show with only 3 episodes left. I think it has to tie back into the history with the twins, which is why he is so interested in taking them on as apprentices, which I think at this point he's more interested in Osha than he is in May. And so we might see a bit of a role reversal here, where May ends up going with Soul and Osha goes with Khmer, and they end up, you know, sort of seeing how the other side lives and, you know, developing these sympathies towards the opposite sides they found themselves on. So that's my theory at the moment as to Khmer's backstory. He was there on Brendok at the time of the fire. His master is Mother Coral, who also survived. And he is there to try and take out the Jedi who caused all of the chaos there. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys. What theories do you have surrounding his character? In the meantime, thank you for watching, and I will see you for the next video.